It's almost 7 o'clock, and it's almost time for us to begin our July meeting for the Rockfish community. Thank you all that are here tonight. They have come out to listen to see what's going on in our community. But before we begin, let's stand and give our pledge of allegiance to the flag. Let us begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let me just begin by saying, before we begin our meeting, we have a lot of sick folks. Number one, we'd like to remember Mr. E.T. Brock and his wife, Claudine. They're having a tough time, and we need to remember them tonight. E.T. plays a vital part in our community. We appreciate what he's done. We also like to remember one of our board members, Mike Bonazio, who has cancer. We need to remember him. Mike is just hanging in there. That's basically it. But let's remember our community as a whole, because we continue to grow and things continue to happen. We see a lot of things just happen in 2 months. So let's go to the Lord in prayer. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you for this time that you've let us gather as a community. And Father, those that are here tonight, we thank you for them being here. Dear Lord, as we go about taking care of your business for the betterment of our community here at Rockfish, we ask that you guide us, direct us. And Father, we thank you for the ones that are here, the ones that are not here, you know the reasons why. Father, let things be done in your name and your honor. All these things we ask in your name. Amen. Let us start off by saying, starting with our minutes from the month of June, correct? And I think she's incorporated, did you incorporate May?
Yeah, it was for May.
Okay. So we're here from Dawn on the minutes.
On the minutes, we went over our trash pickup. During the last meetings, we had something to talk about the sewer. And also, we're trying to get it incorporated for to be a town. The break-ins and which are still happening, and the widening of the roads. Anything else?
What is our money in the budget? About the same as it was?
Still steady at $354.
We hadn't grown a bit. $354. The minutes can stand approved as read. Update on the beautification. We did go through the state of North Carolina. We did adopt one highway, State Road 1406, all the way from the intersection at Pittman Grove all the way to Walder Drive. We canvass that area about twice a week. Hadn't seen a lot of furniture. We picked up a refrigerator last week, carried it to the dumpster. So we're trying to keep our roadsides clean. I'll get Sandy in just a few minutes to tell you about a new date that we're going to set aside for a cleanup for our community. How many of you noticed our lights out there?
Yes.
The lights are in full swing here and at Davis's Bridge. Now the only thing that is not in full swing is they're going to be putting caution lights coming down Lindsay, coming up Lindsay, and coming from Gillis into Hope County, signifying that there's stoplights here. Now at first, when they first put them in and they first cut them on, people did not understand why they were having to sit so long. Well, if you'll notice out there in the paper, there's 3 lines, there's 3 different wires. They're going to come back and expand it over 2 more wires, whereas if you pull to the right, the light is going to take its time about changing. It's supposed to change within 30 to 35 seconds. Once you pull up there, it's supposed to change. But if you pull too far to the right, it's longer than that. Now there is combustion of a traffic anywhere from about 3:30 to about 6 o'clock. Somebody said, well, what's the status on the stoplight down here at the railroad track? Well, have not heard anything from the state, but according to the letter, there's nothing in concrete saying that they're going to put a light there. They're going to do something, but I don't know what they're going to do. I did talk with one of the state officials yesterday to try to get an update, and they are still working on that process. And how long it takes them to work on it. Maybe it won't be to 29. They're supposed to start construction in 29 on this here, but that's gonna come sooner than we think. I've been told that. So, the traffic lights is in full swing. And they're gonna be putting the caution lights up. And our next thing on our agenda tonight is, we're gonna have a community cleanup. It's gonna be on the 14th of August, and Sandy will be heading that up. I think we've been averaging 3 or 4 people picking up paper on the roadside. I wish we could get our church up here involved to help us to let's do this road here. But we're gonna pick a road, and we're gonna clean up the road, make it look nice. But before we go any further, I want to recognize one of our county planning board members, Brother Harold Brock's with us tonight. Good to have Harold with us. Always good to have him. He's plays a very vital part in what's going on in Hope County, and we appreciate what he does. I'm just going to open the floor to anybody that would like to say anything about what's going on in this community.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Reiterate, I just moved back in, I was gone for the last 12 years, so I moved back there, it's lots of changes. You mentioned 2029, is that when they're actually?
That's when the projected scheduling date for the construction of the highway.
Okay.
Come straight across, go all the way to Dollar General. That's the projected date, but that can come quick sooner.
12 years ago, they were talking about it, it's been a while.
29 is a long way off. Yeah, I mean, that's 7 years, 8 years.
You addressed all the other questions I had already, so good job on that.
So, you know, that can come sooner because I asked them, I said, how can you project construction when we've got a problem now? Well, that's the higher-ups engineers talking. I mean, they don't see what we see every day. You know, it's nothing on Sunday morning to come down here and traffic back up half the church on Sunday morning. And then during the week, it's backed up.
Oh, yeah, 3:30 on.
Yes, sir, Mr. Brock. Yes, sir. You're right.
You can ride for 100 miles and you wouldn't see peace. No. The reason being is very simple. If they catch you littering down there, it's going to cost you $50,000. So the way to solve this trash thing to keep from figuring it out is we'll figure out a way to get a sign that says from that intersection, the Davis Bridge and all out through here, if you're not littering, it's going to cost you $2,000. You ain't worried about going something done.
I agree with you.
One person, one time, and I'm in favor of that.
That's right. You know, I came from Oak Island yesterday, and I'll guarantee you from Oak Island to Lumberton, I saw probably 12 no litter signs. Underneath it, $1,000 fine. It ought to be $2,000. It ought to be $3,000.
Put it on there and you know what? It'll stop.
I mean, I talked with the DOT about putting some signs that said, well, it don't do no good. I think it would.
It'll only do some good if somebody is trying to do it and right.
That's exactly right. I agree with you. Yes, sir.
$3,000 on my pocket,
They opened up Sykes Pond Road out here, and I drove down that way the other day. They got a flashing light, or sign there beside the road,
Uh-huh.
saying, do not litter your own county. I mean, it's a lit up sign, it's flashing. And it had been put in there for DOD.
I talked with them in the morning.
But it's
I talked with the people in Rayford in the
a
morning.
lit up sign.
I mean, it's not gonna hurt to put them signs out. And you know, I've rode it all over our community. And it's terrible. And it gets worse if you're going up towards Rayford.
Well, I picked up a whole trailer full of trash, Fifth Road Church Road, road in my house down to the trail and around the fitness and back
Yeah.
this morning. Trailer, the little trailer behind the like long as that.
Well, that Saturday, we done the cleanup, just a short distance that we went. I think we had 16 or 17 bags of trash.
That's one side of the road.
And there won't be 3 of us, right? Unbelievable. Yes, sir.
We have 2 questions from the Facebook audience. The first is, what is on Davis Bridge in the building across from DG that has security out at night?
Now run that again.
The first question from Facebook is, what is on Davis Bridge in the building across from DG that has security out at night?
I don't know.
And the second question is, what is the status on Rockfish Park being updated?
Rockfish Park,
Yes, sir.
up here, the county's handling that. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah. The commissioners came out and they were pointing out things that needed to be done and upgrades that need to be done. And while we're talking about upgrading, they did upgrade the community house. And they've redone all that.
So there's one more suggestion from Facebook. I don't know if anyone's been down to Sykes Pond area. They have a sign up
He
referring,
just told me that.
referring to trash.
I'm gonna check
and
with
they
them in the
talk
morning.
about- They have cameras up on there.
That's good.
Yeah.
There's a couple of spots in our community I wish they'd put a camera and a sign. It's like Harold said, you know, they put them signs up and put them fines on,
Yeah.
and to catch people throwing stuff and fine them and convict them, you'd stop that littering. It don't cost a thing to go to the dump down here. Just go down there.
And you know, back in the day, they used to, if you'd seen a trash bag on the side of the road, I know they used to go through there, if they could find an address, you would get in trouble that way too.
Well, I found one in my front yard, and I took it to the neighborhood,
Yeah.
and I found out where she stayed.
I found a license, driver's license, in a bag beside the road. Carried it to the sheriff's office, give it to him, and
Well, I found a bag of trash in front of my house, and there happened to be a letter on top
Yeah.
of the bag, and I took it, I put it in my phone, and I went straight to their house, and I rung the doorbell. And I said, ma'am, evidently this fell out of your truck. And she said, yes, it did. And she took it to the dumpster. How many of y'all buy that story? I mean, she thought it was comical. But you know, it is important to keep our community clean. It's just not about the Rockfish community. It's about Hope County as a whole. Keep Hope County clean. Yes, sir.
The abandoned gas station continues to go to pieces. I think it's only a matter of time before somebody's gonna wander into it and get hurt.
What's that now?
The abandoned gas station at the corner.
Okay.
Now, is that under the?
The only thing I'll say about the abandoned gas station in downtown Rockfish is it's being handled.
Well, it's not being handled. People are going into it, because I can see.
Yeah,
there's someone
well, I
yanked out
understand
the,
it's
yanked out
being
the-
handled through the proper authority. That's all I know. I was told today, because I made a phone call, because I got 2 calls this morning about it. And I said, I'm really not familiar with the situation. But I talked to somebody that knows, and they're going through the process. What their process is, I don't know.
Well, the last thing I heard was that the state has taken over the authority on it.
I don't know.
It looks like that somebody's taking some of the wood off of it.
The woods missing, there was some kind of a drink machine near the front.
Somebody was down there yesterday, I saw them loading a drink machine. Because I had to change the bulbs on the sign. Somebody had went in and busted 2 of my bulbs that's on the Rockfish sign down there. And then this afternoon, somebody had turned the state flag upside down again at the community house. So that's what we deal with. That's okay.
If someone gets hurt, we're all gonna be.
Well, you know, I hope and pray that it gets took care of very soon, and it will be.
Well, I was under the impression that Miss Harper and Ken was doing something.
I don't know. Hopefully by next meeting, there'll be something done.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
plan, knowing what put in the ordinance, just quickly, for those of you who like to know what's going on those three are to go inspect that property. When those three agree that needs to be action taken on that property, they will notify the owner of that property that they need to bring that property up to standards and give them ample time to meet with them, discuss a plan to get it straight. If the owner of that property fails to do that, it then goes into a notice will be put up. Bids will be sent out. And they will, the county will contract and hire a demolition crew to come in and eliminate and move the building. The cost of that, they will be tied to the owner of the property. And all of his other property owners. And they then will auction, if he doesn't pay that bill, they will start selling his property until they sell it all, or they get enough money to pay to tear down that building. Now, that's what's in the county ordinance, zoning, and 9 yards, and that is what is going to happen with that building that y'all were discussing. One way or the other. And I think the timeline is fairly close to being out. I see somebody's taking something down, and that's good.
Somebody's taking some wood, I mean, you can tell it.
Yeah, and from the county standpoint, I was involved in a lot of conversations with them. From a county standpoint, the county must be involved in doing that. The person who owns the property has a responsibility for that property. And, but that is what's in Lake County right now, and I can pretty well assure you that ordinance is going to be followed very closely.
I have to agree with Mr. Brock that the county instilled the ordinance back about a year ago, year and a half ago maybe, and that the county is in the process of being acted upon. And the county will follow through what the ordinance says. So we just have to sit and see what's going to happen. Hope for the best.
What if the owner is no longer around, like deceased, and it's just sitting there? No one technically owns it.
And if nobody technically owns it, because the county is still going to tear the building down and put the property up, public auction, and highest bidder will own the land on the street.
So we can all just sit back and look, listen and wait and see what's going to take place.
I doubt the grass turns brown.
I doubt it will either, Harold. I doubt the grass will be brown. Might be sooner than what you think. You never know. Anybody have any more comments they'd like to make? Well, there's a lot of progress. I know I'll speak for E.T. and I'll speak for Harold. And we've all been raised in this community, and it's just unbelievable how it's growing, leaps and bounds. And, a lot of things should come in the next couple of months. It's really gonna make headway for our community. But you know, we started this about 5 years ago. The Rockfish Community Volunteer Board. We are not a government. We do not rule the community. We just make recommendations to the higher ups, such as our commissioners, such as our representatives, that things that needs to be done to make our community a better place and make Hope County a better place. There's nothing we can do to enforce nothing on nobody. We're all volunteers. All volunteers. You all come to the meetings. And you can probably say, and I know a lot of people would say, there's been a lot of progress made in 5.5 years. A lot of things have took place. A lot of good positive things. I think the positive outweigh the negative. And there's more positive things to come. But in order to continue to do what we have to do, we have to have dedicated people. We've got Mike Fernandez is very sick. Dawn is with us tonight. Janice is with us. Carlos is tied up with his son. Sandy's with us tonight, and Brian has been with us about a year now as our media person that streams all our meetings. I do wish that everybody that's out there in Facebook tonight would come to a meeting and let us hear personally what you have to say. I mean, I get calls every day, well, why'd you do this? I haven't done anything. Somebody said, well, you got the lights out here. No, I didn't. The state done that. State of North Carolina. That's been long coming. How long, Harold?
Years.
Yeah. Brownie made contact with the state 6 years ago. Nobody never thought that would come. I talked to the two boys that was raised on this farm the other day, the Barnes boys, and they said, my soul, you got stoplights where we used to run through with the tractor? Nobody never thought that would come. Everybody at Davis's Bridge, nobody never thought that would go. So see, there's a lot of progress. We live in a good community, a lot of good caring people. But we have to have good volunteers. And tonight, we've asked a young lady, Miss Andrea Abbott, if she would be a volunteer to our board, step in and help us. She runs the business at the Brock Home Place right here in Rockfish. And I think that she's going to be a very good board member, volunteer board member. I think she's a worker. I think she's somebody that would be good for our community, for what's best for Rockfish and what's better for Hope County. So at this time, I'm going to ask her if she would to come forward. And we're going to give her her oath tonight as a new board member. Let's stand. And Andrea, I'd like for you to stand right here. Place your right hand upon this Bible, and you repeat after me. I, Andrea Abbott, promise that I will faithfully fulfill my responsibilities with loyalty and care as a member of the Rockfish Community Volunteer Board,
as a member of the Rockfish Volunteer Board.
I understand and will uphold the regulations and bylaws that are established by our county government, Hope County, and best practices that will help us govern my conduct as a member of the Rockfish Community Volunteer Board. So help me God. Let's make a welcome. So you can take your seat up here with us. We keep on, the women go outweigh the men. But we're always open for good, positive things that we want to do in the community. There's a lot of stuff going on. Different organizations are doing different things, and they're making Rockfish and Hope County a better place. So now we've already had our public comments from you. Anybody got anything else they'd like to say? Let's just remember that tonight as we go to prayer, we've already prayed, but remember that E.T. and Claudine, Mike, our friend here, the gentleman that comes with you a lot, what's his name?
Well, he goes by the name Farmer.
Farmer. Yeah, he's been real sick, so we've got a lot of concerns in our community. But let's remember our community as a whole. Anybody have anything else they'd like to say? Let's not forget the 14th of August, the cleanup day. We'll meet here at 8:30, and at that time, Sandy will designate which way we're going to go. But here's what I tell you to do. If you see somebody throwing trash on the road, dial 875-5111 and see what they tell you. see what they tell you. But I will contact the state in the morning and ask them about the sign on Club Pond Road,
Sykes Pond.
Sykes Pond,
Yeah, it's right up here off of, Stony Point,
okay,
between Stony Point and, 401.
okay. I'll sure ask them. Call them in the morning. I'll talk to Mr. Wilson, see what he says. So if nobody else has any concerns or business or anything, we'll stand approved as dismissed. And thank y'all for your coming. Andrea, I'll get you.